Hello, Merry Meet. So, I want to review Oracle deck. And sorry for spamming you all with videos, but I had some time today, so I thought, let me just get some of them done. And the deck I want to review is the Faery Forest, an Oracle of the Wild Green World by Lucy Cavendish, an artwork by Maxine Gadd. And this is by Blue Angel, and I'm pretty sure Blue Angel is owned by Llewellyn now. Now, I generally like Lucy Cavendish decks, though a bit lately I have had a feeling that she's just spamming them out, and there has been, well, the pictures are always pretty. There has been less thought in them and more basically, let's just get some decks out there. But even so, I was intrigued by this one, so I took a chance on it. So let's have a look. Now, like I said, with all Oracle decks, the little white book is or basically this one, little bit bigger green book in this case, a lot more important than with a tarot deck, because with a tarot deck, even if the little white book might be crap, you can always get a tarot book or find information online. With Oracle deck, you're stuck with the book that comes with it, this one in this case, or making up what the cards means for yourself. So I put more importance on the book when deciding whether or not a deck kit is a good one than I do with tarot. So we have basically a table of content over the cards, which are useful because that makes it easier to find the cards, especially when you first start to read with the books. You haven't read with the deck, I mean, and you haven't memorized all the cards yet. It can be easy to just get this, see what cards did you get, and go for it. Then you have the path into the Faery Forest and how to work with the Faery Forest Oracle. So basically, this is basically about the deck. How it was made and so on and so forth. And this is how to work with the deck, which has both information how to read with it and some ideas of how to read with it, how to use a card of day method, how to meditate with it, and such. That's quite useful. How to bond with the card, and so on and so forth. And some information on the reversed cards, because you can't read with reversed with this one. And some information on what happens if somebody else's handles your deck, which is a bit odd to put in there when you have so little room for, but why not? So yeah, then you have a how to work with it. So basically that was how to work with it, and here we have some more how to work with it. It's really, it could be in one chapter. You have basically enter the Great Tree, the gateway to the Fairy Forest, and working with the Fairy Oracle, which is just more information along the same lines, like blessing your cards, dedicating your deck, all of the little things that are useful. Then we have some layouts, which is always my favorite section. So we have a basic 3-card layout. We have, of course, the Celtic Cross, because it's the Celtic Cross, so it has to be included everywhere. And we have a Cycle of the Moon spread, which I haven't, this particular one I haven't seen anywhere else, so it's a unique spread, which makes me happy. It's a pretty decent one too. And then we have the Faery Forest spread, which is a unique spread, and it's a pretty fun one, though a pretty big one. You're gonna need to use a big table for this one. But yeah, I'm pleased with that. And then we have the cards. Each card gets basically 1 page of information, because you have the picture, and such a way it's spread over 2 pages, it gets 1. And if I don't remember completely wrong, that's the rest of the book. And let's have a look. Yeah. There are some advertisements for other decks in the back. Then, now that we have spent 5 minutes talking about the book, let's go on with the deck. Or just one more thing about the book. It's serviceable. It's not the most amazing book for a Oracle deck ever, but it will get the job done. You can basically pick up this kit and just go with that book and read with it. Now, there are a few things I really like with this deck, and some things I don't like. Basically, this is one more deck that shows portraits. It's almost all the cards are portraits, and that's fine. But I think you can get so much more symbolism into things if you have characters in an environment doing something. Think the difference between tarot card of the High Priestess, which just sits there, typically with the two pillars, representing the two outer pillars on the Tree of Life. She sits there with a scroll, all of the things that she's doing. Or the devil with the chained people at the devil's throne. It's a dynamic picture that people doing something, that when you just have a portrait, then all you have to work with is what this character is wearing and the expression on their face. So yes, we have. Let me show you some of the cards. So these cards are very, very pretty. Well, I do not believe any of these are actual photographs. I think they are basically computer drawn over photographs. Some of them looks a lot more photography than others. So that there are considerable difference between how these cards look. This one, for example, look very drawn, while this looks very much like a photograph. And this looks quite almost cartoony. So that this could be a problem for some people, that there's a very different style with how this looks from card to card. That can be distracting for quite a few readers. I don't have a huge problem with it, but I prefer it to be one style within one deck, but it's not a huge problem for me. Here's what I mean. Here are one of the few cards that are not a portrait. You can see here she's in a forest, she's walking, you can see the cold around her. You get so much more of a dramatic effect, so much more things to work with when you have a character in a setting than when you're just working with a portrait. Also, as you can see, each card have a different colored border that you can also work with. So yeah. Also, under each card it says there's a few words about what the card means. Now, I believe this artwork is very, very pretty. I really love it. It's a gorgeous deck, but when you do it with portraits, while there are some good symbolism in here, you get a lot less of it than when you have characters doing things. So yes, like with all those Lucy Cavendish decks, they are very feminine centric. Almost all the characters are female. So it's very feminine centric and quite beautiful, but at the same time, to me, this deck is probably not one I'm going to be reading with a lot, because there's a limit to how much symbolism you can have when you almost only have portraits. You have a few that aren't. Like, for example, again, you get so much more out of this kind of setup than this, even if it's very pretty. What I do think this can be great for are using on the altar to call on the energies, because you have definitely, for example, here you have a very feeling of winter. It can be a great way to set up an altar for winter. While here you have far much more autumn, spring, perhaps more autumn feeling because of the mushrooms on her head. Also autumn, basically using them for meditation and for altar decorations and for drawing in symbolism, the altars with the colors and all, that I think can be a great idea for this deck. For divination, it might be that I'm just not connecting very well to it, but I don't think this will be a deck I will be drawing to a lot for divinations. Now, the cardstock is quite good. These puppies are quite durable. The cardboard are extremely glossy. That is a problem when it comes to shuffling it, especially big cards like this. But and it's glossy, but at the same time a little bit. It has quite a bit of friction, so these stick together very well. So I would, like I said, when you get decks like this, I would say sit down, put on a movie, and just shuffle the cards, just to get them a little bit scratched up. It will be easier to shuffle that way. But yeah. Now here are the backs of the cards. Now, for cards that are meant to be read both right side up and upside down, this is a problem because this is not reversible. You can immediately see if a card is reversible or not. So yeah, but other than that, the backs are pretty, very pretty. So yeah, this has a very pagan spiritual feel to it, which is also why I feel this is a great thing to use for altar decorations. For example, using them as a small altar plaque, just leaning them against the wall and putting them on your altar could be a great way to get that energy in without having to buy a lot of expensive pictures. And also for meditation on these little things here, for if you have visions, trance, apparitions, basically for meditations and for ritual work, I think this deck would be quite okay. For divination, though, I think that this is far more of pretty pictures deck than very useful. And the pictures are, like I said, very, very pretty. But there's too little symbolism to work with here. So, yeah, I mean, when I look at this card, I don't get the intuitive fertilization action. I don't get that from this card. I don't really. Yeah. I mean, they are beautiful, but the symbolism doesn't really completely match up with what it says it does, and I don't get a lot. I get this. This is a pretty woman with pretty leaf-colored jewelry on her. It's pretty. I can see how it has a lunar feel to it, but does it really tell me something? If this comes up in a reading, do this really tell me anything? Does it give me anything for my intuition to work with? I don't really feel that. So I think I'll give this deck 6 out of 10. The construction and card quality is great. The images are pretty, but with combining these many styles within one deck, it can feel a bit confusing to read by. The symbolism is a bit lacking. It's a problem that the card backs are not reversible when reading reversals are a part of the system. The book that it comes with is quite adequate and works well. I do think this will be quite good for altar decorations and quite acceptable for meditation. but it's not a deck I would necessarily recommend for divination. So yeah, that was the last card, and that is my review of the Faery Forest Oracle. It's an okay deck, but there's a lot of better Oracle decks out there, and I do feel that Lucy Cavendish perhaps are publishing too many of these, that she should perhaps spend more time on each deck to really think out symbolisms, to get great divination decks rather than collections of art. So yeah, that is my review of the Faery Forest, an Oracle of the Wild Green World by Lucy Cavendish. I hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day and blessed be. Oh, and P.S. Like I said, it can be that I'm just not connecting with these cards. That you might connect with them completely. That's why I don't feel that these will be good for divination. So if you feel that, I connect completely with them, I do awesome divinations with them, there's nothing wrong with that. It might just, like I said, be me. But like I said, this review is just my opinion. So yeah, have a great day, everyone.